Hey everybody. Hello, hello. It's Arisa here. Having some technical difficulties today. Oh my goodness. It's really interesting. Um, Interesting. Technical difficulties, they happen. My main source of going live just went kapoop on me. So I am now having to go live from a source that I was not planning to use as my main source. So it's always good to have a plan B. So I'm on my backup plan right now. But hey everybody, hey. I'm going to give people time to come on. Give people time to come on. And I wanted to just come to you all because it's been a while. A lot has been going on in our lives. For those of you who are following us, know that we've been challenged with just people going home to their final destinations, going home to see the Lord. So we've had a few people in our lives very close to us to pass recently, back to back. So just really wanted to come out here and just briefly share some words with you all. So I'm going to give people time to come on because I did have a little technical challenge here, and I'm also going to try to go live on my private page, my personal page rather, because right now I'm on the fan page, but I do know some people also was on my personal page. So I'm trying to include everybody. I don't want to exclude anyone. I want everyone who wanted to take part, participate, and join in to have that opportunity. So those of you all who are on, if you can please just bear with me. Bear with me. And I'm trying to, hold on, I can't see what's going on. Quiet mode, turn on swipe left to reveal comments. I can't see any comments or anything because it said quiet mode is on and it won't let me swipe. Swipe or no swiping, huh? Alrighty. Let's see if I can find a workaround. I may need to jump off and come back on if I have to. We'll see. I'm gonna give this a few more tries while my other source of going live is coming up. Because literally, as I was trying to go live, for some reason my camera wasn't recognized on my computer, and then all of a sudden my computer just went out. So I need to log back on right quick. So give me just a minute. While I log on, I do see someone join. I can't see who it is because I'm not able to see your comments right now. I do see that we've got some people that have come on. And as I was just explaining, I've encountered some technical difficulties, which is really challenging, and it's interesting. That's the word. Not challenging is not the right word. It's interesting because of the topic that I have to discuss today. So I'm being put to the test to make sure that I drink from the cup that I'm serving from. So we're talking about really controlling our thoughts and thinking positive things when we encounter life's challenges. And this is a perfect example of what happens. I mean, this happens all the time to us in life. We have challenges and it doesn't actually work out the way we want it to work out, and we have an option. So either we choose to accept it and get over the hump, or we basically, it's a challenge for us. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, here, I'm on my other, got a few things going on at one time. So those of you all who are on, and I'm sorry I can't see who's on right now because I'm not able to even see any of my comments. Okay, I do see. I see, looks like California is in the house. Hey, California. I'm a little challenged right now. I'm having some challenges. But you guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Life Talks. It's been a minute since we've been on. And I'm right now trying to share this out to my personal page as well. And you all, please feel free to share it to your page. Invite others out to take part in our discussion we're going to have today. It's going to be kind of brief. Only going to be on probably about 15 minutes, if that long. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see the comments. I'm trying to figure that out right now as I'm talking. So give me just a second. I got a few pages up, so that's what I'm doing right now. If you're wondering what in the world is going on, that's what's going on. That is what's going on. Our people that's tuned in from California, our prayers are with you. I was watching the news earlier today, and I do know that some people that are on right now are, thank God, I believe are quite a distance from, well, in a safe space. But you guys are, there's a lot going on, and we're going on with California, and we're really praying for you all. We're praying that everyone is safe, and those that are there, you guys, please, if you're close to the fire, don't wait until they tell you to evacuate. We've got people missing. We've got over, I think they say like over 1,000 people were missing. So you all, please, if you're out there, and if the fire is, if you're able to smell that smoke, and then you're able to see fire, you all may need to make plans to escape while there's time. It's just, this is end times. We're living in the end times. I do have some people that are saying they are trying to connect onto this on my personal page, so I'm trying to get them over to us, you guys. I'm sorry, I apologize for the technical difficulty, but that's something that does happen. I mean, it's part of life. It happens. And I can't see my comments. I'm sorry, I can't see. Something is really going. Okay, yes, I do see Travis now. I can see you. Yes, I can see you. I can definitely see you. I've got a few other people that are trying to connect, and I'm trying to get them over to where we are. So give me just a minute. I'm sorry. Just a minute. Let me get this up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, because even though, and I apologize for the delay, but even though we're being recorded, so people that are not able to get on, for those who have tried to get on and can't get on, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. I'll figure it out. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is, we haven't been on, like I said, in a while, because a lot of things have been going on, but I want to welcome everybody to today's edition of Life Talks. Life Talks, generally, we had been coming on every Sunday night about 7 p.m. just to get everybody started on a good week. And some things had gone on with our family. We've had quite a few deaths, so I hadn't been able to come on like I really wanted to. So on behalf of my establishment, Women's Personal and Professional Resource Connection, welcome to today's moment, we're going to be sharing some insight, and I want you all to participate. So those who are on now, please do feel free to participate, and those that are coming on, we'll have them chime on. So do me a favor, if you can share this out, that'd be great. Invite friends to join in with us as well. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about is our mind. This mind. God has given us a wonderful thing by giving us options. And He's given us the option to choose whether or not to accept thoughts that come into our mind. So a lot of times we have negative situations that happen, and we have positive situations that happen. And sometimes, hey Diamond, sometimes when these positive situations happen, it's really easy to accept. It's very, very easy to accept the situation when it's positive. But when situations happen that are negative, it's kind of difficult to be positive. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about our thoughts because everybody, hey, that's coming in, welcome. But we're going to talk about today is our thoughts, because a lot of times we choose to think the wrong thing. And when life brings us challenges and brings us obstacles, we have to make a decision. Are we going to choose to be positive, or are we going to choose to be negative? So are we going to choose to allow this situation to take over, or are we going to choose to take over the situation? So that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about. I want you all to chime in. Give me your input. Give me your insight. Tell me what you're thinking. If you want to come on live with me, I do have that capability on this. I don't have it on my other source, but I do have it on this one. So if you all want to come on, just let me know. Hey, I got something I want to say, and you all are free and you're welcome to come on and chime in with us. But I was thinking about our thoughts. Our thoughts manifest into actions. So you ever think about something, the more you think about it, the more it starts to manifest. So there's not one action that we do that we don't think about. So our thoughts become actions, and our actions become what? Habits. And our habits become character. And then that becomes our destiny. So that's our final destination. So a lot of times people say, I don't know why I'm going through situations I'm going through. Doesn't mean that all the time it's your thoughts, but sometimes what we're going through, the way we go through it, is because of our thoughts. I had someone give me a call, not to say that I'm any better than anybody, because I'm not, but I had someone give me a call. This young lady called me. She had been following me, and she knew, well, on Facebook, and she knew about my surgery situation. And the moment I found out I was going to have surgery, and I went in to check myself in, my husband took me, I got on Facebook, and I told everybody what was going on. And I was, of course, I didn't want to have to go through that, but I knew that the Lord allowed it. And I believed, my faith was, Lord, if you allow this to happen to me, I know you're going to pull me through. I know it's going to be okay. Do I have to go through? Yes. Is it going to be uncomfortable? Yes. Is it going to be painful? Possibly, yes. But will I go through it with gratitude? Yes, because it could be worse. So she gave me a call and she said, hey, I was watching you and I don't understand how you went through that and you were so positive. And I told her, I said, it wasn't me. It was just the grace of God. So that's one of the things that gets us through. That is the main source that gets me through challenging times, is having my thoughts on the Lord, knowing that He is going to work it out. So our thoughts come, so we accept it or we reject it. Now, there are a lot of times we have to really, really be careful of what we're feeding into our spirit, man, what we're feeding into our mind, what we're feeding into our hearts. You ever have a situation, say, for instance, you watch an action figure. I know we got some people on here who like action figures. So you watch this action figure movie, and they're just fighting, and they hustling, and they tussling, and they going back and forth. And then all of a sudden, you just jump up and you want to do the same thing. You want to fight. You want to hustle. You just want to get into it. Why? Because that's what you have allowed to enter into your inner man. So when we allow things to enter into our inner man, that starts germinating, and it starts creating a desire to do and to want to do what we fed our inner man. So if I feed my inner man fighting, for instance, I use the action figures on television, fighting, then not to say I'm going to go out and fight, but I may have a tendency to be a little more aggressive than I would have been otherwise had I been feeding my inner man something else that would have been more productive or more fruitful. So that's what we're just basically talking about. So we think about, and sometimes you ever had a situation like you think about people, and the more you think about them, and you think about a situation, and the more you think about this person, and the more you think about this situation, something may have happened, the more you get upset. Who has had that? Has anyone had that happen before? Like the more you think about a situation that didn't exactly go the way you want to, it just aggravates you and it frustrates you the more you think about it. Why? Because sometimes the thoughts that we're thinking about it are not positive thoughts. We may be rehashing a situation around and thinking about the way it went and it didn't go the way we wanted it to go. But as opposed to saying, well, maybe this person responded this way because they were going through some type of situation. We're thinking about things that are feeding our inner man negative things. So we have to really be careful of that. So one of the things that I challenge you all to do, and I really think would be productive, and this is one of the things that I'm practicing as well, is when a thought comes to me, one of the things that I try to think of is this a productive thought? Like, is this thought going to be productive for me? Is this thought going to result in me doing something I'm going to have to apologize for later? I mean, that's a challenge sometimes, but that's something that I found to be helpful for me. Will what I'm thinking about get me to where I want to go? I mean, like, is it really worth me thinking about it in a negative way to jeopardize where I want to go? Sometimes we have to think about that. Whether it's with our relationships, whether it's with our jobs, whether it's even with our finances. Like, do I need to purchase this item? Because is it going to help me get to where I want to be? If I want to be debt free, I don't need to keep charging on my credit card. I mean, that's the thought. The thought comes into me and say, let me go ahead and get this outfit. And what happens? It results in an action. And every action has a consequence. And so and sometimes the consequences are good and sometimes the consequences are not. So that's what I'm saying. So we have to be cautious on what we choose to allow our minds to embrace. Mind control. Now, our mind is the tower of our life. I was thinking about that. I heard of a pastor that I really admire in Atlanta, older man. And he talked about mind control being the tower of our life. And I was like, wow, that is really interesting, because when you think about situations that you've been in life, we've been around here. Like, I've been around here. I've been on this earth long enough to know that, hey, Odell, I've been on this earth long enough to know that when things happen in life, if I'm not thinking about them in a positive way, some things can happen that are not the way I really want them to be. Sometimes I end up being where I really don't want to be. And that could be, and it doesn't have to be a destination. It could necessarily be just the thoughts, the thoughts. So if I'm thinking about something and it's bringing about negative thoughts, more negative thoughts, and it's not fruitful, do I need to keep thinking about that? Maybe not. I don't need to keep thinking about that. And we can't control sometimes what our eyes see, because we are in situations. Now, a lot of times we can, but sometimes we are in environments, say like we're at work and we live in the world. Sometimes we're in environments that we cannot necessarily control what enters our mind through our eye gates and through our ears because of our environment that we have to be in. But what we have to do is cast down thoughts that are not conducive to where we want to go. That's what we would have to do. So what are we allowing our minds to really meditate on? So that's the thing. What are we really allowing our minds to totally meditate on? Are we meditating on things that are profitable and fruitful? Or are we meditating on things that aggravate us and make us upset? say for instance, earlier, I mean, like I was really I've been trying to get on Facebook for a while to go live, and I still wasn't able to get on to go the way I wanted to go. But you know what? I said, now this is a choice. And this is what I said to myself as this was happening. I said, this is a choice. Either I'm going to choose to be upset and let it frustrate me, or I'm going to choose to go to plan B. And what did I have to do? I had to go to plan B. My husband's always taught me, and he's always said, always have a plan B, babe. Always have a plan B. For 21, 22 years, he's always told me, babe, always have a plan B. So that's what I had to do, was go to plan B. So plan B actually kept me in a good state of mind. So that's one of the things that we have to also think about. Have a plan B. So when things enter our mind that we really don't want to enter, we have a backup plan of something that is fruitful and profitable for us. So learning to see the good in situations. So for those of you all who are out there who profess the Lord to be your personal Lord and Savior, I profess the Lord to be my personal Lord and Savior. And I believe everything that happens to me is approved by God. There's nothing that happens that has crossed my path or that will cross my path that is not approved by God, that God has not put his stamp of approval on. So if he has put his stamp of approval on it to happen to me, then that means he has equipped me to take the situation. Is it difficult? A lot of times it is difficult. But the thing I always think about is 3 words that has taken me through some of the most challenging times of my life. The most recent one being my surgery. Had some things happen that of course weren't even planning for surgery, and then I had some things that would happen as a result that almost took me out. But the 3 words that I kept thinking about was approved by God. Knowing that our situation is approved by God is what helps to get us through. So think of something that happens to you. Think of something that has happened to you, or some words that have crossed your mind. Those things, they can either, you choose to let it stick like glue, like crazy glue, like gorilla glue, or you choose to sweep it clean, to wipe it away. Just like your child. When your child spills some milk, you choose to let that milk sit there and spoil, or you choose to wipe that milk up and start with a clean slate. Same thing, negative thoughts. We can let those thoughts that come in and those words that come in that are not fruitful, we can let that come in, and we can let that germinate, and we can let it spoil, and we can let it not benefit us, or we can let those thoughts enter and be profitable for us. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you all today. If you all had anything that you wanted to chime in with the comments before we go. But the thoughts that come in, we choose to accept or reject our thoughts that are negative, and we choose to accept it or reject it in a positive light. So just because a thought comes into our mind does not mean that we have to hold on. It's not for us. We don't have to nurse it, and we don't have to hold on to it. What we choose to do, or what we can choose to do, is make that thought be a positive thought. So that basically concludes everything I wanted to talk to you today about. So what do you think? So are you going to think negative, or are you going to think positive? We all are going to be challenged, even maybe before this night ends, before this day ends, we're going to be challenged to accept a situation or reject a situation. As you go throughout this week of November 19th, was November 18th now. So the week of November 18th, 2018, I challenge you to choose positive. I challenge you to sweep the negative thoughts clean out of your mind that are going to come your way, because they're going to be a plethora of thoughts that are going to come your way, and even words that are going to come your way that are not going to be words or thoughts that you want to hold on to. Are you going to hold on to it and let it spill like spoiled milk, and let it spoil and rot and create things that are going to contaminate you? Or are you going to choose to sweep it clean? Put it in a dustpan, throw it away. That's the moral of what we're talking about tonight. Choose our thoughts. We're either going to let them stay that are negative, or we're going to sweep them away and make a positive situation out of a negative situation. It's a choice we all have an opportunity to make. So you all, thank you so much for joining in tonight. And I apologize again for the technical difficulties. They will be okay, hopefully, by next week. So we're pretty much back on track every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Just sharing a few little words just sharing words out with you all every Sunday. He accepts the challenge. Thank you, Travis, for accepting the challenge. Holding on to positive thoughts. So that's what Travis is accepting, the challenge that I have given off to you all. And I accept the challenge as well. I choose to hold on to the positive thoughts and not the negative thoughts, because there are so many things that are happening in life. Negative thoughts are really, and before we get ready to go, negative things happen, and it's real easy with no effort. Takes no effort to hold on to a negative thought. But the effort comes when we try to hold on to a thought that is positive, or when we try to dissect a situation that is negative and find the positive in it. Every situation that we encounter in life, I don't care what it is, every situation has a positive point to it. Even the worst of the worst situation has a positive element and a positive dynamic to it. Your responsibility is to find that positiveness in a negative situation. Don't let a negative situation take you out. Don't let life's challenges and obstacles take you out, because you are more than a conqueror. So what we have to do is we have to hold on to, number one, the Word of God. Number two, hold on to the fact that we know that situations happen to us because they are approved and they're custom made for us. And number three, we have to sweep away all of those negative thoughts. So really appreciate the fruitful thoughts of your influence. Thank you so much. Flip the thought. I like that. Hashtag flip the thought. Thank you. Thank you all so much for joining tonight. And you all take care. See you next week. Bye, everybody.